As some of your viewers may know, I went to Gaza quite a while ago, about 10 years ago, drove from Newport to Gaza, and it was really something. And it was a convoy. We picked up people on the way. We finally got into Gaza through the Rafah Gate. Um, and believe me, it was horrible then. And that was a good thing. So my sympathies with that part of the world go back. They have deep roots. Um, and obviously I follow what happens there quite carefully. I made friends. But I was also on that convoy with George Galloway. And it must be said that he had to leave the convoy halfway through to fly to America, where he spent a few days wiping the floor with the American legal system, and then came back and joined the convoy. Now, I've also followed George because I know him a little bit. And when he won, I thought he did that on a Palestine ticket. Now, he may not be my favorite person, but he's constant on Palestine. He has been totally trustworthy on that subject, and I know exactly how he feels about it. So when he won, it was first of all, he did it on a Palestine ticket. But the other really important thing about that election was how badly Labour and Conservative did. And that was a sort of road to Damascus moment for me, because I never thought I would stand again. I've stood several times in a parliamentary seat on a Green ticket. I've been leader of the Green Party in Wales, and my Green roots are deep too. But on this occasion, I thought, no, the independents must rise. This is the time when a lot of people have been kicked out of the Labour Party, but they're still interested in politics. The more old Labour, shall we say? And I'm okay with that. A lot of Tories don't like the way Tories are going, and they will also stand as independents. But I'm a true independent. I don't I don't have funding from anybody big. My funding comes from the little people, the people I trust, the people in my community. I don't have to think about a party whip or towing anybody's line. I'm not going to do that anymore. I am speaking for myself and the people of Newport East. And I have been with them out on the streets twice a week, all winter long, carrying a Palestine flag and shouting out for a ceasefire. I've done a lot of campaigning on that. So this is really just a moment when I can say, right, I know what I believe in. I know what I want to happen. And I'm going to take this platform of general election promises to get up there and talk about what I believe in, what we should be doing, and how change can be affected in this country, because that's the most important thing of all.
I'm I'm curious about your background because you say you were leading the Green Party in Wales. Why have you moved from being a Green to an independent? Is there a particular reason?
I'm not anti-green, and I'm not with the party in that sense, but I think they had the wrong position on Ukraine, and I was outspoken about that. They've always had the right position on Palestine, and I made sure of that. But when the Ukraine debacle kicked off, at the time, very few people could see that it was completely caused by NATO. Um, it was not caused by Russia. It was caused by NATO, by the expansion of NATO. And NATO needs to be abolished. It's an awful organization. I was there in Madrid in 2022 when the NATO summit agreed between itself to give itself um, the world, basically. So the North Atlantic Treaty Organization had given itself permission to go anywhere in the world it thought fit. And this this is nothing to do with democracy. This is all to do with power grabs, land grabs, and um, uh, taking a kind of global hegemony beyond anything we'd thought of before. But you can think of NATO as being, the advanced arm of the US, which of course is losing hegemony. As you know, by hegemony, I mean political power, political sway, democratic support, all the things that the United States is losing, whilst hanging on to its veto at the UN General Assembly and damning any vote that is truly about peace or a ceasefire in Gaza or anywhere else for that matter.
What do you think the priorities are for you to get going?
Well, the beginning of the campaign is about getting out there, about getting to the grassroots of your constituency, and in a way that addresses their needs, in a way that listens to their needs. So I want to hear from people. I want to understand everybody's position in this awful mess, this awful political quagmire that our country is in, this feeble government doing nothing for the people. So our first part is to touch base with our people as a grassroots campaign to invite people to join our weekly emails that will be going out. You can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and probably somewhere else if I could remember. And get in touch with us. We're building our database. We want to take you with us. We want this to be a real campaign for not for a political party, which is the way it has always been done, a campaign for the actual people, because they're the ones who aren't the ones who have to live with bad political decisions and bad spending ideas. So that's where we want to start. So I'm not in the business, as you picked up, of slagging off other candidates, whoever they are. Uh, I do understand how the political world works, and a lot of people are not necessarily able to say what's on their mind, really. And you can tell that by looking at them. But that's really not my business. I can get above all that. But that doesn't mean they won't be taking pot shots at me all the time. And that's fine.
Uh,
Been there before. I've been through the anti-Semitism tribunals twice by the British Board of Deputies. I've been arrested and put in jail in Israel.
well,
It,
oh,
how
you
long
should
have
have said all.
you?
You should have said all this. People would be saying they'll all be going to Newport if you'd said that. Then everyone, they'd be all going over that bridge that costs a fortune to go on the toll fee. They'd all be. You'd get hundreds and thousands of people if you said that. But we've got to do this
Right,
interview. We have to do it again. We have to do it
do it
again.
again.
About the Israel draining is
Yeah,
that's wow. That must
yeah,
have been
yeah.
horrific.
It wasn't too pretty, I must say. But it's all a part of life's rich tapestry.